Hello, everyone. How are you? This is Just Like You, Everyday People, Amazing Stories, episode number 28. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Episode number 28. Thank you so much for joining us today. Just a couple of quick housekeeping issues. This is episode number 28. I'd love to have you on the show. We are booking for 2021, actually May of 2021. So I'd love to have you. If you have a story, and we know you do, please get in contact with me. I would love to have you on the show. If you have a friend who has a story, hook us up. All you got to do is hook us up and we will have you on the show and have your friend on the show. Just hook us up and I'll do the rest. A couple of other housekeeping issues. If the internet doesn't let us be great for whatever reason today, we will be back 7:30 to 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. So make sure you tune back in. If for some reason something happens with the internet, it doesn't happen all the time, but just in case it does, we are here 7:30 to 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. We have this episode and 2 more episodes for the year, and then I'm going to take a little break, a little self-care. But make sure you join me next week as we have another exciting guest. And the following week, December 8th, make sure you join me for my birthday party. We're going to have a birthday party right here on Instagram Live. So I want you to be camera ready because I'm going to be requesting people in for my birthday on the December 8th episode. Yep, December 8th. So my guest has just started to join us here, Miss Renee. Let me get you in here. We go live. Hello, beautiful. Let's see. It says waiting. Hi!
I love
you.
I love your energy. It's great.
Look at you, beautiful. How are you?
I'm doing okay. It's been what, almost like a decade?
You know what? Not quite that long, but it does seem like it, I think. It does seem like I'm so glad to see you. I wish I could see everybody in real life, you know?
Well, let me introduce you to my daughter. As I
Yes!
Hi, welcome. Oh, she just passed. Okay, you want to come back and say hi, Taryn?
Ava, right?
Yes, this is my daughter, Ava.
Hi, beautiful. Hi, Ava. How are you? Did you just have a birthday?
Yes. How, did you just turn 6?
Yeah.
Okay.
Congratulations. Happy 6th birthday.
She says, thank you so much. Enough already. Everyone's talking about my birthday all week.
Oh, yeah. Yep, because you celebrated for did you celebrate a couple days, or I just saw a couple pictures and I felt like
It's a hard time to celebrate and have a real birthday. So we did something at the house, just her and I, and a cake, and then we had like a little drive-by, you know, with some kids.
Yeah, because it looked like you, of course you're in Cali, so you could be outside, yeah.
Yeah, we were outside.
Yeah. So
Crazy. Not in Cali anymore, by the way. So.
Yeah. It snowed today. I'm in Chicago. It snowed today here.
Oh, wow.
I was actually inside crying. I know.
Chicago's such a great, great place. So lucky you to be there too.
It is a great place. It's just so cold.
Windy.
Yeah. A wimp, you know, it's so cold, but it's a beautiful city. It's a great city to be in. So especially now around the holidays, it'll be a great, city to see all lit up, you know?
Oh, yeah. Oh, how nice to actually get to see snow.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, whenever you're here, of course, find me. So we will get started. We're only on here for a half an hour. So like I was saying, housekeeping wise, if something happens and the internet does weird things, we'll always come back.
Okay.
So if something happens, we come right back. And then, like I was saying earlier, we have yourself, and then we have 2 more episodes. And then on December 8th, so the second, not now, not the next episode, but the following episode, December 8th, is my birthday on Instagram Live. So we're going to have a little birthday party. So I'm telling everyone, including you, to come back, but be camera ready because I can invite everyone into my birthday party. So
okay.
Started, Renee. Goodness. Okay, so I said on my Instagram, friend, animal lover, I know that you love, is that actually how we met? I feel like we met at a pet adoption.
You could have came, well, I don't know. I think that we were introduced because I was doing events for cancer research and charity.
Okay.
And you know what? And I think also, now that I think about it, there was a, my own, I had created an animal fund to help raise money for vet medical bills.
Yeah, I think I knew it was something. I feel like we met through animals. We both have that in common. It might have been something else too. And then you're definitely a beauty influencer. I know we've talked about that, just one-on-one in the past, and just a giver and a share of positivity. And, you mentioned yourself as a contestant on The Bachelor, so that was exciting. But I really want you to just, you are just really about self-love and self-care and, combining, like you said, that positivity with beauty. So I really want to take the first 10 minutes and kind of start off with giving us a little bit about your journey. So tell us a little bit about Renee and your story and how you got to, be where you are right now. Give us a little bit about your story.
No, 1 second, honey, okay? Of course. No, I'm kidding. You can come with me while I talk. Honestly, the truth is, and I do share this only with certain people, but I'm going to let it all out right now. When I was a little girl, I grew up with an older mom. And my mother did not take care of herself. She didn't take care of her skin. She didn't take care of, she was a smoker also, by the way. She was also poisons in her body. But the main thing is that she didn't take care of how she looked. And I look back now and I believe it's because she just didn't have the will or the positivity in her life to want to care for herself. For herself. So it kind of influenced me to say to myself, when I get older, I want to make sure that I, take care of myself. And if I have a child, which I do, that's trying to scratch my back right now.
Yeah, that's okay.
That I, show her that if you have to love yourself and love yourself from within. And when you love yourself from within, you tend to want to take care of yourself, wash your face before you go to bed, or, do something that's going to make you feel good and feel good. You want to look good. You want to shine. You want to be a bright light. And so I believe that if anything, my mother inspired me. I will tell you that there were times when people would say she was older when she had me, but guess what? I was a year older than her when I had my daughter.
Oh, okay.
And people would say, "Is this your grandmother?" when it was my mom. And it always crushed me because I just, I really wanted people to look past that kind of thing and look at her inner beauty. But it was hard to take care of herself. And so, and she had a little, I would say, little bitterness because she was a single mom. Okay. But also your outlook on things, So it just inspired me, and I feel that it just made me realize that, beauty starts. She always told me that too, by the way. She preached it, but she didn't. Well, she preached it. She was a good soul. And it starts from within, always. And I truly believe that if you can believe that you can be happy and you can choose to be happy, then you want to take care of yourself. You want to shine bright and influence others, and tell everyone else they're beautiful too.
Right. So how did you start to, I think when you think about beauty within, but then you kind of also have, how do I say this, created
I know what you're trying to say.
A brand around, inward beauty, but also just you do some stuff with makeup and other things. So you've kind of combined that inward, outward beauty, I guess, but positivity, and you've linked positivity into it. So give us a little bit about that, because obviously we see you today and of gorgeous, right? Stunning, and not just stunning from the outside, stunning from the inside. So, but you've molded that into something you do and that you share. So give us a little bit about that.
I think it all started with the pandemic, to be honest. And I said, and I am in the aesthetics business, aside from what I do on social media. I do work in aesthetics, where I do medical grade skincare and our medical device. And I see lots of people that are, wanting to take care of themselves,
Okay.
But it really is special when you see somebody that wants to take care of themselves on the outside because they're inspired by how much they want to take care of their inner soul first. And it's inspired by. So it started with the pandemic, and I think that everyone was falling into this hole of being depressed and not wanting to leave we couldn't leave the house, but not even wanting to look outside at the vitamin D sun, and wanting to be, let the sun touch us and let us feel good. So I decided to I saw all these, is it called memes or memes or what, what I'm talking about? Where you see something.
Memes. I don't know if that's right.
And I started screen shooting them because I was like, oh my God, this inspired me today. This is making me feel good. I feel really down in the dumps because I haven't seen my friends in forever. We're on lockdown. And so I started screen shooting all these, I would say that moved me quotes and resonated. And I decided to just like every day wake up and make sure I put myself together, that I'm not going to fall backwards and not take care of myself, because this pandemic isn't going to make me get depressed.
Mm-hmm.
I start to become depressed. I mean, I'm not saying there are times I'm not depressed,
Right.
but I just want to make sure that I wake up in the morning and I wash my face, and I'll do my makeup, because guess what? That makes me feel good about myself. It gives me something to do. It makes me feel like, I'm creative. I like to be creative. I want to, be kind of like outside the box. Like, I'm not a makeup artist by any means, but I enjoy doing it. It actually like just gets me something to do, makes me get creative with myself. And so I would attach a picture of like my favorite makeup brand, or maybe something I bought that day, with my favorite positive quote that I saw.
Okay.
And that's how it kind of started. And then I started to realize, like, wow, this is like inspiring me. This is actually like like a ping pong going back and forth. One thing's do the other thing, and back and forth and back and forth. And if I can make myself get up in the morning and put on some skincare and do my eyes, whatnot, then it actually inspires me to like get the day, during COVID.
So I have to ask this because, I've lived there too. And how do you remain in that space in Los Angeles? I think, in Beverly Hills specifically, I know that you do a lot of philanthropic things. I know you're kind of, you're definitely in the know. And I know that you see people all the time that, have maybe the outer beauty, but kind of are missing that inner beauty. And you're in that world, just by being in LA. So I have to ask, how do you maintain, there might be someone listening who, a lot of us, can say, yeah, we get up, we do our makeup, we do this and we do that. But how do you maintain that space in a hard space that you're in? You're in a hard, I don't know about hard, but, it's just challenging being in LA and kind of maintaining that confidence.
Do you mean
Oh, say that again.
Because of the lockdown, or the cases going up?
Just the pressure. Just the pressure of LA, there's a lot. I think in LA, there's a lot of pressure to be, beautiful on the outside, but you also are beautiful on the inside. And I'm sure you meet people a lot of times that are beautiful on the outside, but not so beautiful on the inside. So how do you maintain the positivity that you maintain?
You know what? I see through them. I don't get glued to them. I don't get stuck with those people. It's weird. Almost like I like them and I appreciate who they are, but if we don't vibe and we don't click, I just move past it. Like, it's as if it doesn't affect me. And in some cases, if they're not nice, if they're not a good person, I don't want to be around them anyways, right? Because that's negative energy influencing. So I never judge anybody. That's another thing too, because everyone has their own journey. So I think once you start judging them, you become part of that. So if you don't get attached to it and why that person's like that, and because I believe that, like, also someone once told me, what someone thinks of you is none of your business. Isn't that? And it's true. Like, in my 20s, somebody would say, oh, she said this about you, or that person thinks this. And I would be like, why? I don't even know them. Like, what did I do to them? But the reality is, like, it's so meaningless, because it's really none of your business. It's not my business what someone else thinks of me.
Yeah.
Usually, a projection of something that they're going through. Can't take anything personal,
I think those two are good points. Don't judge. And what someone thinks of you is none of your business.
Your business.
Yeah. I think that is so, I think that if you can just follow those 2 points, you can help maintain that positivity, because I think it's so, you, like I said, you're in LA, we're all over the place. Everybody that's listening, I can see people coming on from all over, and most of us are in big cities. So we all have that space, that's like, oh man, we see this on the outside. And I think it's cool that you've been able to maintain your positivity and your beauty, right? I think that those two things are, they don't necessarily go hand in hand, and some people can maintain one without the other. So I think that it's cool that you've been able to maintain those and still maintain being able to do stuff, like I said, you know, I love the way you love animals. So I love your babies, you know, and you still maintain that philanthropic give back, which is so important in today's, you know, in today's world. What pieces of advice, Renee, would you give someone else who, you know, wants to kind of transition themselves or wants to, you know, they might be in a rut, right? And they might be, you know, seeking that positivity and seeking this way to make their confidence shine.
I think that like you have to choose to be open to happiness. You have to choose to, when you're scrolling through Instagram or Facebook, you've got to choose to not get hung up on some stuff that might affect you or a negative reaction. Just say like, just move past it and like actually connect to something that could be positive for you. You know what they say is, they say if you say something like in the morning when you wake up, if you say it's going to be a great day, you just like affirm it. You just say it, you're going to have a good day. I know it sounds crazy and sometimes I'm oh my gosh. But I think that it's a really good thing to just try to like, especially during COVID, to connect to things that are positive and disconnect to things that may affect you in a negative way. Because we have a choice. We can choose. We can choose to read, you know, this person's rant. And can I give you an example of something?
Oh yeah.
This is like, I'll probably get like whatever yelled at. But there was a person on Facebook that put out a statement about their election. And it was a negative statement about people. How can I be friends with these people that vote for so-and-so? And I'm like, you know, you just opened up a book of worms. Like you just huge can of negativity. But the entire election, I never commented on anyone's anything. I didn't do one anything because I'm like, that's not me. That's not my style. I can't, like, once you say something negative, by the way, you become negative for the next 20 minutes. You're a negative person for the next 20 minutes. You've just changed your energy.
Right.
I try not to comment and do anything negative. Don't let your comment affect my vibe. And I couldn't hold back, so I messaged the girl who I've known for like 20 years, and I just said, I know you came from a really good place, but there are 100 comments right now that are all negative. 100. And they were building and building and building. So what's happening is it's going to build, and what you're putting out there is going to keep building. It's like growing an infection, you know?
I like that.
Because I ended up talking to her, and it turned out that she's just going through a hard time with COVID, and she's all, you know, alone. She's got no one to interact with, and it gave her something to like do. It gave her some like action, you know, to do, talk to people.
Even if, and it sounds like even if that was action was negative action.
Yeah, it was.
But I like that. Don't let your comments affect my vibe. Like,
yeah, like, and I shouldn't. Like if I write her, but I did it, and I was like, I was praying for a positive outcome, and there was, so I kind of like write it off like that. But I think that like it's hard because like there's so much negativity out there right now because of the election, and like the country is a little more segregated now, and I wish we could all come together and just like be kind to one another.
Yeah,
respect each other's opinions.
I think it's good that you said, I'm going to take away, don't let your negative comments affect my vibe. I'm going to take that one, by the way. And I also think it's just, you know, important that we think about, like you said, there's so much going on now. We cannot spend, you know, a negative comment that's going to take us down the rabbit hole of 100 other negative comments. And, you know, we have to give what we want, you know? And so, you know, if you give that positivity, you know, hopefully the world's going to come back to you, right? And it's going to come back to you and give you that love, as opposed to the other way around if you're giving something that's not so positive. So I like what you've said. I like don't judge. I like, of course, the don't let your negative comment affect my vibe. I think that it's important that we, you know, I also did not comment on anything with regards to the election for that specific reason. Because I feel, I agree with you 100% that I'm not going to get in that space in my head, right? Like, I want to stay in a positive space and be the best person I can be. And you want to be the best person you can be. And I'm not going to let anybody take me down that crazy rabbit hole of, you know, whatever people were thinking at that time.
So vulnerable right now. It's so easy to get trapped and like pulled into something that's like, you know? It's so easy, but you just gotta like say to yourself, in 5 minutes, I won't care about this statement if I don't comment. If I don't comment and I don't keep reading everyone's whatever negativity, I won't care in 5 minutes about this. So I'm gonna keep going.
Right. And I think it's important too. I mean, just, that's a sensitive topic for everyone. But I think, and sometimes I heard this, and I don't know, if you heard any of this, but people would say, oh, well, what do you think about this? Or didn't you think about that? And I'm like, I didn't say I didn't think about it. I just didn't comment 1,000 times of negativity on it. Like I didn't say that that wasn't important to me. I just don't need to comment on everything that social media puts in my brain that could negatively affect my vibe, like
subconscious thing too, because even if you don't comment and you still keep reading it, it energetically is like, how do I say this? Like it's becoming inside you. It's kind of like already in your head. You're thinking,
mm-hmm.
so your mood could easily change and shift. So the best thing to do is just kind of respect it and
Mm-hmm.
on because this isn't like what I want to talk about right now, and just try to connect to something else.
So I've gotten a few things. So anything else with regards to advice I've gotten? Now I took that nugget, just that little pearl. Just respect it and move on.
Yeah, gotta respect it. Mutual respect, right?
Yeah.
Respect for each other, and that's what I'm, in my opinion, lots of people were writing off their relatives or friends or
mm-hmm.
their childhood friends because they didn't have mutual respect. They were saying, well, you don't agree with me, so bye-bye.
Right.
Just doesn't, it just, I don't know, it's yucky.
Right. So tell me a little bit more about, I'm intrigued because it's something that I need to work on about, like I said, and we're kind of going back to it, but the beauty space. And, any more you want to tell us on that? I'm just intrigued. I'm intrigued by it because it's something that I think I've been saying this for a decade that, I too worked in aesthetics for a while. But, I need to do better with regards to, everybody's always telling me, oh my goodness, T, you need to, I used to model and do different things and then haven't probably worn any makeup since,
Here's the deal. So there's people out there that want to get Botox, they want to get filler and whatnot, and it becomes addictive. It really does. It becomes this thing where like you notice one line because you're so used to having that line. The whole thing is addictive, and it's fun. By the way, it's completely fun. I mean, one day I'll get filler in my lips, and I'll be like, "This is funny" because I got too much, but I won't get hung up on it because I know it's going to go away. It's not permanent. Some are permanent, some are permanent, like semi-permanent. But I think that I connect to makeup when I talk about on the internet because it's a creative space for me.
Okay.
So when I read these like quotes and these uplifting, I read, in fact, one of the first ones that I posted was the best thing you can do right now is choose to be in a good mood every day. And I was like, wow. And so when I read it, it actually inspired me to like get up in the morning and go put on a face and go out for the day. So I took a picture of myself that day in the quote that inspired me. So I think that it's just a creative space for myself. I mean, other people, maybe they enjoy putting a mask on or they can't go get facials right now. So let them take care of themselves. Like choose to like take the time that you have at home right now while you're quarantined to maybe take care of yourself.
That's good.
And not rely on maybe a facial person or an esthetician, but yourself, and do it while you're doing it for yourself and you're learning about maybe I don't know, like how to wear a mask or do something for yourself. And then as you're doing it, you start to feel better about yourself. It's kind of like a weird thing that happens as you're doing it though. It's an action that you're doing that's helping you feel better about yourself.
Yeah, I think it's so important to do different things, to help us, men and women, by the way, different things to help us support our, self-care, support ourselves. I know you mentioned getting up in the morning. I sometimes get up in the morning and I'll get out of bed or stay in the bed. I'm in the bed and I'm like, okay, T, you got this. You got the day. And I'm like, say that out loud. Like, I'm sure my husband's like, what the heck? And I'm like, okay, T, You got this. You can do it, girl. You can do it. And I'm in the bed, like working my way out of the bed, thinking to myself, I got this. I got the day, you know?
Right.
And then I get out of bed and I'm like, okay, I think to your point, I mean, I do it and I feel like I'm getting a little boost from it, you know, in the morning, a mental boost, if you will. Let me see how much time we have. Just a few more minutes, believe it or not.
Wow. Okay.
I know. I know. What does the future hold for Renee?
I don't know. I guess, you know, if I just keep, I don't know, you know, honestly,
Mm-hmm.
like, I hope I live another year. I mean, like, look, I mean, we all have to pray for good health and,
I know.
just, you know, that we can, I don't know. Honestly, that's such a good question. I wish I had the answer. Let's just say if I stay positive on the track I am right now, that hopefully more good things to come.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's been about, like you said, keeping those positive vibes and letting the universe bring your ideas, to you, right? I mean, you have to obviously
Right.
put the action, but I think you've done, I mean, that's one thing I think you're good at, just keeping track of you over the years, is you've been able to kind of, you know, have ideas come to you and turn them into something, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that you've also, you know, if people look at your social media and if they do or do not know you, either way, you've stayed true to the Renee brand.
Yeah. And
Right.
that's the truth. I mean, authentic is huge for me. So, and that was another thing I wanted to say. I actually wrote it down. Was it believe in, be you,
Mm-hmm.
be you, beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
That's my little hashtag. You, because everyone is different
Mm-hmm.
and no one else can be you, right?
Right.
Love, hate it, but never ignore it. That was one of my favorite quotes too. Just don't be afraid to like be who you are.
What was the
Okay.
second? What was the second one you said?
Love,
Love.
hate it, but never. So like there used to be, you know, people would always be scared to like say how they really felt about things because they were scared what someone else would think of them. Like if
Mm-hmm.
they didn't agree, whatever. And it just kind of like be who you are. And you know what's so funny that Oprah said once, and I never forgot this. It's just like I've got the Oprah thing down pat. Like everyone else out there is trying to be Oprah, but no one else can be me. And
Mm-hmm.
it's, if you were to think all to think the same way about ourselves, like no one else out there can be me. I don't care what anyone thinks about what things I do or say. Like that's who I am. And just believe in who you are and what you stand for.
Yeah, and I think that's important. I think it's important to, you know, I think it's important to grow, but I think it's important to, you know, to believe in yourself and that you can continue to grow, right? And that things will come your way. I do believe, you know, we put in the work and we'll see, you know, those positive energies or positive vibes, you know, coming our way. And I think it's, like I said, I think that that's one of the things with you is just, you know, you've made, I mean, if I thought about you now and I thought about you 10 years ago, you've grown in that your brand has grown, but your mission to me has stayed the same.
True. Yeah, I agree.
You
100%.
know, like your mission, because when I met you, it was, like I said, I either, whether it was through a confidence builder or whether it was through a philanthropic, you know, adoption, it was a positive moment, right? It was
Something
that we
else.
were positive.
Putting out something good into the world.
Mm-hmm. Putting out something good into the world. So I think this is, you know, perfect timing for you to come on as we start to get into, you know, the season of cheer. I know everybody doesn't celebrates different ways, but I think everybody can agree that, you know, we're getting into, we're you know, we don't know what kind of chapter we're closing down with regards to COVID. It's been a tough 2020 for most of us. Everybody's kind of looking forward to, you know, giving a little, hopefully people are going to get some self-care around this time. And hopefully we're going to start 2021, you know, with a little more, like you said, positive vibes, you know.
Positive, kind to one another. Yeah.
So anything else you want people to know about you before we end here?
I don't know. I think that's, I mean, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
just
just think you've done a great job. I mean, it's so great to see you. You
thank you.
know, you're, like I said, you're stunning on the outside, but it's just good to hear, you know, all the positive things you're doing from the inside as well. And like I said, the and I stick to the animal thing, but not just that, right? You're giving these an opportunity for people to focus on beauty, but also not forget that it's important to have that beauty with that positivity.
Because then it starts from within, and then you can, do so much more.
You can do so much more when you have, that within, and it's good to find it. And sometimes it's difficult. I mean, I can't always say I've been in a good space where I've always felt the most confident, but I feel like, I've evolved into that space. And I think doing things like you say, like waking up in the morning and say that you've got it. Even like, it's funny because I was, my husband was like, usually I wear a sweatshirt or something. And my husband was like, oh, you're putting on, whatever he said. He said a shirt and, a regular shirt or something. And I just wanted to put on some color, like I'm not fancy, but it's a black sweatshirt, it's just some color. And I was like, okay, putting on a little color at 7:30, what for the show. So I want to thank you. Oh, I agree. And Renee has the best heart. Someone is saying the Beverly Hills.
Oh, that's my. She's so silly. My girlfriend in Vegas
too.
Also, she's great. Oh, she's so cute. Yeah, we've been friends for almost 15 years, she and I. But I just want to make sure that we also don't forget to mention like what someone else thinks of you is none of your business too, because let's take that as a takeaway too, because I love that.
What someone thinks of you is none of your business, folks. You heard it here, Renee, dropping dimes on us. You heard it here. Thank you so much, Renee. I'm going to call you in just a second. So I'm going to, folks, just so you know, for people who are watching, I am going to put this on my IGTV. I'm going to share it with Renee so she can put it on her IGTV. And I'm also going to put it on my YouTube, and I'm going to share Renee the link. So you'll be able to catch this episode on both of our socials in about 15 minutes.
Yes.
So,
perfect.
Thank you very much, Renee. I'm going to call you.
Well, thank you so much.
And I'll talk to you soon, sweetheart. Thank you. And tell Ava I said, happy birthday.
Okay, I'll tell.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Talk to you in a second.
Okay, bye.